Whether this day is bright or gloomy depends on how you see it. And that's the challenge we face every morning, don't we? It's our choice. Will the day be gloomy or will the day be bright? And that's the idea behind this mixed media painting. I created in 1984. It's got a little bit of acrylic, a little bit of felt tip, but it's mostly watercolor. And we see here a young, sprightly sycamore tree hedged around by old, stern manzanitas. When I first rendered the sketch on this illustration board, I kept the space that now contains the sycamore tree open and white, but everything else I toned in this mauve-y color. You see it on the outside of the manzanitas. The mauve goes all the way through the trees, and so when I painted the branches, I did not paint the branch. What I did is I negative spaced the branch around all that beautiful mauve-y color, which, due to the negative spacing, your eye interprets it as a bunch of tangled branches. You always work from the back of the painting forward. And of course, after I did those branches negative spaced, I then laid in the green with a stippled brush that I was able to just push down onto the illustration board and lift it off, and it gave that same uniform green shape. And then, after that, I toned the edges with the yellow paint to give a hint of sunlight. But they still look pretty dark and somber. The delicate thin line around these manzanitas is all negative space. That's not anything I drew with a white pencil. However, I must confess, a couple of places my mouth slipped, and so I had to repair it with a white pastel pencil. But you can see the tree kind of like bursting through the lines of those manzanitas. See how it explodes right off there on the upper right and the top. That just helps the eye read this as a tree full of bright promise and new possibilities, reaching out beyond the old, the tired, the weary. Now, this scene could be interpreted as somber, dark foreboding, as though the manzanitas are all hunched over trying to suffocate that little sapling. Or you could interpret this as full of promise, full of energy, and new possibilities. I mean, look at the difference in the way I painted the leaves and the branches. The manzanita are all stooped over and slump-shouldered, but the young sycamore is busting out all over, isn't he? A little energetic tree reaching out with his branches, making his way, creating his space among that group of tired old bushes. You know, a good design in art is supposed to make you think. You stand in front of it and you let it speak to you. What is this piece of art saying to me? And although interpretations of paintings can, for the most part, be subjective, I think this one is unmistakably objective. Will your day be gloomy, or will it be bright? How will you see it? What will you choose? What is the story of that little tree? Interpret him well, and then look at your own days as full of promise and new possibilities.